Okay, welcome everybody to the 2019 Awards Luncheon. I'm Lila Dacan and Pete Carrions and I are happy to host today and present the awards. We've got a lot of them, and so in order that we can get through and get back to our meeting on time, we're going to go ahead and get started with the program. Please go ahead with your meal and enjoy yourself. We're going to ask recipients, if you don't mind, if you please enter on this side, okay? And then exit on this side, unless you need to use the ramp, in case we'll make an adjustment, so that we can have photo opportunities over here on this side, okay? We're going to start with the 2018 MAP State Awards, and there are two categories, one for the highest number of memberships submitted directly by the state affiliate, and the other for the greatest percentage increase. And we give out 3 awards in each category. This year, for the highest number of memberships submitted directly by the state affiliate, in 3rd place, the Washington Chess Federation had 210 new memberships. The Michigan Chess Association was in 2nd place with 227 new memberships. And I believe John Whitworth is here to accept the award. Come on up, John. And in 1st place with 395 new memberships, the Maryland Chess Association. I understand that John Rockefeller, Michael Reagan, and Chris Kim are accepted. The states with the greatest percentage increase in 3rd place, with a 10.3% increase, is the Maine Chess Association. I understand Michael Dudley is here to accept that. In 2nd place with a 16.1% increase is the Arkansas Chess Association, which I understand Larry West. And in 1st place with a whopping 22.5% membership increase is the Mississippi Chess Association. Jeff Wheeler.
All right, moving on. The Chess City of the Year. This year, the award goes to Philadelphia. Philadelphia is the home to some of the most important open events on the calendar, such as the World Open, the Philadelphia Open, the Liberty Bell Open, and the National Chess Congress. Jen Shahadi shares that one of her favorite Philadelphia events is Checkmate Violence, a day and night chess marathon organized by After Schools Activities Partnerships, showing the power of chess to inspire young minds and harness youthful energy. Philly chess has continued to grow due to creative efforts like ASAP, the Philadelphia Chess Society, and the Franklin Mercantile Chess Club. The girls of the Philadelphia Chess Society were a crucial part of the Girls in Chess video that debuted in the New Yorker magazine last summer. Accepting Chess City of the Year award on behalf of the Philadelphia is Martin Collette of ASAP.
I'll keep this somewhat brief, but first I'd like to say thank you to the U.S. Chess Federation for honoring Philadelphia as Chess City of the Year. It's It's an honor to receive this award. Philadelphia has a rich history of chess, whether it's after-school clubs, weekend quad and Saturday tournaments, or sending kids to national events to showcase their skills at a national level. So once again, thank you for this award.
Chess College of the Year Award. It's been awarded to the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. UT-RGV is named for the second straight year for successfully defending its President's Cup Championship in 2019. Congratulations to the team members, Grandmaster Jovanes Gabushin, Vladimir Belos, Camille Draglin, and Andres Ducopin, and International Master Guillermo Vasquez. Here to accept the award is Ms. Veronica Gonzalez, Vice President of Governmental and Community Relations for UT-RGV.
Good afternoon, everyone. We want to thank you for this kind award, this recognition, but of course none of this could happen without our fantastic coach, our Grandmaster Bartek Machaya, who, and also I think one of our players is here, Camille Dragoon, and just want to thank you. The first year that our team won the President's Cup was very impressive. The second year that they did it again was truly amazing. And we couldn't be prouder at the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley of our team. They are putting our university on the map, and we invite you, if you're ever down in Texas, to come and visit us in South Texas. The great thing about it too, and I like listening to what's happening with young people in chess, is that we are starting to see more and more young people from a very young age getting involved in chess, and we know that we want to keep winning this President's Cup year after year, and so we're going to grow our own. And thank you again to the coach and for this wonderful recognition.
Okay, so next we're going to recognize the Chess Club of the Year, and it is the Charlotte Chess Center. The city of Charlotte, South Carolina was recognized last year as our Chess City of the Year. This year we're very happy to honor the Charlotte Chess Center in that city for providing such important tournaments and maintaining an active scholastic chess program. I understand that Pete Giatnes is here to accept this award.
Thank you so much for nominating us for this award. While I receive all the credit for most of what we do at the Charlotte Chess Center, it would not be possible without our dedicated staff and passionate staff. So I greatly appreciate it on behalf of both myself and the staff. Thank you so much, and cheers to another great year of chess in the United States. Thank you.
We'd now like to recognize the Committee of the Year. This year's Committee of the Year was the Ethics Committee, who tackled a very large caseload that addressed some unusual and difficult issues. The Ethics Committee incorporated new directions from the delegates for Scholastic Ombudsman into the procedures and produced a series of decisions that were easy to follow and provided good guidance to the Executive Board during appeals. The decision letters explained the committee's reasoning and approach, which were especially useful in cases that relied on statistical and circumstantial analysis. Here to accept the award on behalf of the Ethics Committee is Chair Hal Terry.
On behalf of the 11 members of the Ethics Committee, I'm pleased to accept this award. I can tell you that many of these members put in many hours a day, spread over weeks, discussing each and every case. And we very much appreciate this recommendation for all the hard work that all of them did. Thank you very much.
Okay, we want to recognize our outstanding team performances. The 2018 U.S. Olympiad team received a silver medal at the Olympiad. We want to congratulate team captain John Donaldson, Hikaru Nakamura, Sam Shanklin, Fabiana Caruana, Ray Robeson, and Wesley So. Had a fantastic performance. The World Senior team also had a fabulous year. They finished first place in the World Senior team. We want to congratulate team captain Alex Shabalov, who's here to accept the award on behalf of the team, along with Joe Benjamin, John Alves, Sergey Pudrin, and Alex Uman-Linsky.
On behalf of the team, I would like to thank USCF and Executive Board and two of our liaison officers, Boyd Reed and Grant Owen, for financial support and make it possible. I know when the motion to send the team to the senior world team was passed 2 years ago, it was run as an experiment, and we were told that this is it's on outcome basis. Basically, we had to win twice. Okay, we delivered on our end. Now it's really up to you guys that whether or not we'll be able to defend our title next year and prior. Senior chess is always regarded as something inferior, in the chess world. And I remember this episode, and it was a knockout tournament in Holland and Tilburg in '94, when there was the pairing was announced before the first round, and like everyone was listening to the parents, everything went smooth until it was announced that Shabalov was playing Smyslov, and the whole audience, everyone, just started laughing hysterically. And I was like asking someone sitting next to me, what's going on? Like, what's the laughter all about? Who are you laughing at? And he said this is the most ridiculous pairings that I've ever heard, because it's hard to imagine two players that are so much different from each other, in the world. So I asked, do you expect me, like, am I underdog? Am I like a favorite in this kind? He said, no, of course you're a huge favorite. You must win it. And I won that match, but it went to tie breaks, and it was like a really, really tough match. I beat the old guy in Blitz, basically. Senior chess is a mainstay in other sports like tennis or competitive running. There's always been those categories with a huge money involved. In chess, it's also very popular in Europe. They do have team championships. Every respected chess open has senior prizes. There is a special senior Bundesliga, for example. And FIDE recognized it, for example, by triple the prize fund for the U.S. individual world senior championship this year in Romania. They tripled the fund prize went from $16,000 to almost like $46,000. So The FIDE recognized the senior chess as a new battleground, that it's going to be on the horizon for years now. And I'm glad that the United States finally jumped on the bandwagon with the senior team going to the World Championship last 2 years, and national senior championship that, thanks to St. Louis Chess Club, Greg Sinfield and Tony Rich here represented in St. Louis. Okay, it was a fantastic tournament, for the first time, and I know it's going to continue. Okay, so we know we have chess players that taken very good care in the United States by Greg Sinfield in St. Louis. They live in a great life, everything's good. When Bill Goldberg won for first high school national championship back in 1969, which was exactly 50 years ago, it took years before the best scholastic program in the world was built here in the United States. And now we finally, we've seen the results. There's a bunch of the young grandmasters extremely talented that we never had before in this country. So the United States Chess Federation has an experience in building something best in the world, okay? So I'm asking you to do the same for the seniors, okay? Just don't take 50 years, because we don't have that time to do it. There is a room for immediate improvement. For example, we only send in one team out of 4 categories that we can. Okay, we only send in men's team for 50 plus, but there's also category 65 plus and the 2 women's team as well. So think about that. And well, I think I know that Boyd Reed and Grant Owen are responsible for the senior chess in the federation, but probably a separate committee or separate body for seniors would be, a good idea. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Next up, we have our Grandmaster of the Year award. This year, the award is given to 2 players. Grandmaster Karu Nakamura for winning the 2019 U.S. Championship and for significant international competitive achievements, as well as Grandmaster Sam Shankland for winning the 2018 U.S. Championship and also for significant international competitive achievements. Here to accept the award on behalf of Grandmaster Karu Nakamura is Sunil Weermantra.
Thank you. Just Hikaru wanted me to say a few quick words. First of all, I would like to thank the U.S. Chess and everybody else involved. The irony of timing is not lost on him because he said that if this award had been decided on a few months after it had, he probably would not have received it. But during the period in question, it was certainly a very good period because he won the Grand Chess Tour in London. He took two double bronze at the World Rapid and Blitz in St. Petersburg, and then he also won the U.S. Championship. But he said in particular that this U.S. Championship win was his most meaningful, because this was the strongest championship ever, and any tournament that has Fabiano and Wesley and Lenier as well, and Sam too, is an extremely difficult tournament to win. So on behalf of Hikaru, thank you very much.
Our Outstanding Player Achievement Award goes to Alex Onishuk, Grandmaster Alex Onishuk of Texas, In March, Alex broke the all-time record for the most times representing the United States in Olympiads and world team competitions with 13 appearances. This broke the record he had previously shared with Grandmaster Larry Christensen and Yasser Seral.
The Women Chess Player of the Year award goes to Jennifer Yu, who picked it up at the beginning of the U.S. Open. When Jennifer won the U.S. Women's Championship among her many chess achievements. She represents chess so well in her activities involving contact with the public. She got started in chess when her parents signed her up for chess club in elementary school. They gave out keychain chess pieces as prizes, and she wanted to get all of them. Unfortunately, the club only ran for a few weeks, but afterwards she started attending group lessons. She says that the 2019 U.S. Chess Championship has been her most memorable chess experience to date. Our 2018 Junior Grand Prix winner is, I'm going to ask Pete to pronounce this name so that I don't butcher it.
Shrikar Gagavarapu.
Who earned a remarkable 12,860 points at 17 events.
Each year we offer a medal for chess sponsorship, including recognizing our donors to US Chess. These are the Colt Anowski medals. This year we have 5 to award, 2 gold and 3 silver. The first gold medal that we'd like to award goes to the St. Louis Chess Club in Missouri for their grant to the Women's Chess Program of US Chess and for their continued support of chess throughout the United States. I believe we have a representative here, Mr. Tony Rich.
Yeah, it's been an exciting 11 years with the St. Louis Chess Club. Rex and Jeannie have earned a few of these over the years. The St. Louis Chess Club was awarded this, but it's really thanks to their generosity that we're able to do everything that we do. So thank you, US Chess, and thank you to everybody. Appreciate it.
The second gold goes to 2 Sigma for their continued sponsorship of our international youth teams. For the past several years, 2 Sigma has supported US Chess by providing uniforms for young players who participate overseas in international competitions. This year, US Chess would like to award a silver Colt Anowski medal to Dwayne and Sue Barber from Southern California. Dwayne's most memorable chess experience was receiving the US Chess honorary title, the Dean of Scholastic Chess. He has contributed new scholarships for the U.S. Junior Closed, Girls Closed, and Junior Cadet. Dwayne's advice to chess enthusiasts is that the difficult takes a little time, the impossible takes a little longer.
For an old school teacher, you knew I had something that I was going to say, so I didn't say it. I think we need to remember that George Koltanowski was an amazing chess player, an amazing spokesperson for chess in the United States. And I was pleased to have been involved with him, and it always made things exciting. And then last year when the board and delegates stepped up and gave me the honor of being Dean of Scholastic Chess, I had a great problem with that because I didn't know where the guidelines were, I didn't know where the instructions were, and I didn't find too many people that probably knew where they were either. So I called a friend of mine and I said, excuse me, but I have a problem with this award. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And so he said, it's not a problem. Just go in the bathroom. What do you want me to do? Yeah, just go in the bathroom. Now, when you get in the bathroom, there's a mirror in the bathroom. And look in the mirror. And the guy in the mirror will tell you what to do. And I realized
I made my effort to do it all alone. And that's wonderful because it is all about Scholastic chess. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dwayne. Also receiving the Silver Coltonowski Medal this year are Richard and Barbara Schifrin from Pennsylvania for their support of the National Girls Tournament of Champions. Unfortunately, they could not be here today to accept. Our final Coltonowski Award goes to David and Maureen Grimaud of South Carolina. Everyone knows them as David and Maureen. Some of us know them as the U.S. Chess Volunteer Dream Team. Maureen has been the chair of U.S. Chess Women's Committee for 4 years, during which time I found her help very valuable. David is the inaugural chair of the U.S. Chess Senior Committee. They both contribute their time and talents to the things they care about in U.S. Chess. They're generous financial supporters of U.S. Chess and regularly catalyze efforts to jumpstart activities that blaze new programmatic trails. We are grateful for their leadership in all levels. Thank you.
Talking on behalf of both of us. On behalf of David and I, we just want to thank you. This is quite an honor and a privilege to accept this award. Doing this for 4 years and trying to get the women's movement going.
And senior.
And senior, yes, and senior. I told you not even know. This has been such a fun ride because I think I was telling Rich, I said this is like looking at a white canvas and being, the Federation has just been so generous in allowing us to really come out with some creative ideas for women and girls chess, just specifically, I'm talking about myself here. Just because, how to crack the code, to get more females playing. And it's been so much fun coming up and working with so many great women and men and giving us so many ideas and so much support, so much from the Federation, so much from the U.S. Trust, so much from so many outside people, outside of the chess community. It's been wonderful. It's been great. So we really thank you all very much.
Every year we recognize an honorary chessmate, somebody who tolerates, puts up with, supports their life partner in all that they do for U.S. chess and for the game. And this year that award goes to Carolyn Wiramatri for her support of Sunil's career, and I understand that Sunil is going to accept.
Notice I took the stairs the second time up. This time, my wife did not ask me to say anything, but I'm going to say a few words. In fact, she said, why me? Because I don't even like chess. But what a lot of you may not know is that when Hikaru was going for his Grandmaster norms, the opportunities that currently exist in the US did not exist. And today, thanks to groups like the St. Louis Chess Club, Charlotte Chess Center, there are many norm tournaments that the kids can participate in. There was nothing for Hikaru to play, so I had to send him to Europe. And so Carolyn had to take him to a lot of European tournaments, and so she put her time in, certainly, in seeing that he was able to get the award. And I also here really want to thank Steve Dolan for having facilitated Ricardo getting his title, because Steve had to actually walk it through to the President's Commission. Anyway, I did tell my wife, you know, you can fly in here and fly back in time for your race tomorrow, but she thought that might be a little difficult. So anyway, on behalf of both of us, thank you so much.
I'd like to recognize the Special Services Award. First one we'd like to recognize this year is to Peter Dyson of Florida. Peter co-founded the Space Coast Chess Foundation, which maintains and organizes an active program in Scholastic chess and other chess activities. Peter has organized the Space Coast Open, an important Florida tournament, for over 20 years. He was taught chess by his father and remembers him adding weights to a cheap plastic chess set of red and white pieces to create his first chess set. Peter then began to take chess seriously in junior high school when he discovered he could beat a player on the state championship high school team. He was recruited to the high school team the following year. Peter's most memorable chess experience was the 99th US Open in Hawaii, in which he scored 6.5 out of 9, obtained his national master title, and came close to sharing third place with 3 GMs. Peter has served as treasurer and magazine editor for Florida Chess Association, as well as a US chess delegate on and off for more than 20 years. He's been on the finance-related committees since 2000, including the LMA Trust, which he has served since 2005. Peter advises that everyone play more chess and be good ambassadors for the sport. Remember, it's only a game. It costs you nothing to be nice to other players and offer encouragement. Congrats, Peter.
In chess, do you suppose it's good to be prepared? Well, I left my room without my prepared speech. I brought a bunch of papers and stuck them under my plate, and my speech was not among them. So that might be good news for all of you. The Special Services Award is a special and I'll call it mysterious award. Special because they're only giving out a few, and I think of the contributions I've made and all the contributions of all the other people and including the ones I got recognized for a bunch of things. But I see in the room here a lot of people who helped make that success possible. Frank and John among others. So really, this is an award that many people could have received, and I did receive it. So special from that standpoint. Mysterious because I'm not 100% sure what I was nominated for or who nominated me. I have my suspicions, but they've yet to be confirmed. Nobody has confessed. So with that, I thank the USCF and my mysterious benefactor for nominating me. And I, again, go play more chess. Thank you.
Second Special Services Award we'd like to award today is to Sam and Miller Copeland from South Carolina. They've brought a strong Scholastic chess program to South Carolina. Their strategy chess program teaches chess to children and both organizes Scholastic chess events, including girls' tournaments, and supports the South Carolina Chess Association Scholastic program. Their program has taught chess to over 800 children in South Carolina. Under their direction, the South Carolina State Scholastic Championships reached a record total of 238 players. Remarkable achievement for a school. We have no mic. All right. Are we back? Great. Okay, just had to tap it. Sam first played a tournament when he was 15. He's been playing, coaching, directing, and organizing ever since. His most memorable chess experience is teaching students the game, watching them catch the chess bug, and developing them from beginning players to intermediate players and beyond. Sam's advice to chess enthusiasts is that victories, trophies, medals, and elo come and go. But chess is most rewarding when appreciated for its richness and beauty and the lifelong community it provides. Here to accept on behalf of Sam and Miller Copeland are Daniel and Elizabeth Smith. Thank you. Our final Special Services Award goes to Robert Simpson from New York. Robert says he has chess to thank for a wonderful career in intellectual property law because he designed and built a digital chess clock in 1973 while still in his teens but couldn't afford to patent it. When US Chess decided to self-publish the 7th edition of our rulebook, we needed someone to address any copyright issues from the previous 6 editions. Robert came to our aid. He researched the rulebook's extensive history and provided US Chess with a completely written legal opinion and advice regarding the copyright. Here's an anecdote from Robert the player. In 2010, he donated a few trophies to a chess tournament while also registering to play in the under 1600 section. He was 56 and was paired against a 10-year-old in the final round. The youngster dropped a bishop in the middle game but fought until the end. Then softly tipped his king, gave Robert a great big smile, extended his hand and said, "Congratulations." Robert applauds the young man for teaching everyone in the playing hall what sportsmanship is about. However, Robert's wife was not very happy that he came home with a trophy that he had promised her he was giving away to some kids in the lower section. Robert advises that those involved in chess ignore their rating, play for the love of the game, get involved, share their gifts with others, especially children, win without boasting, and lose without excuse.
Well, Sunil, I think your wife needs to meet my wife, my partner in my law practice. And I want to thank you, Dan Lucas, for asking me to research the chain of title on the copyrights for the first 6 editions of the rulebook. I read every word of all 6 editions out loud to my wife. And I have been sleeping in a detached garage ever since. So it was really a lot of fun, and it was about a 25-page report, I think, that we gave to Dan and his team. But if you haven't read it yet, it's really terrific. The 7th edition, self-published, it's a beautiful read, especially the history. And I want to congratulate you, Dan, everyone involved, Tim Just, and the editorial team on this new rule book. It's just fantastic, and thank you very much for this recognition. Thank you.
The Scholastic Service Award this year goes to Rusty Harwood, who says that when he was in junior high, a couple of his friends taught him to play. When he became an elementary teacher, one of his fellow second grade teachers decided to start a team at the school. His 2 most memorable experiences were winning his school's first national championship in Atlanta at the K-12 grades back in 2001, and then the following spring, his school's first graders winning their very first K-1 championship at elementary nationals. He served on the college chess committee for 14 years, on the Scholastic committee for 8 years, and been elected to the Scholastic Council 4 times. Rusty's wisdom from his many years of involvement in Scholastic chess is, don't think that you can't be an effective teacher of chess just because you may not be a highly rated player. Next, we also have our Scholastic receiving a Scholastic Services Award and Organizer of the Year, John Haskell of Florida. John is an international arbiter who organizes many important tournaments, both in his home state of Florida and elsewhere. He got involved in Scholastic chess and as an organizer because of a shortage of local events for his son to play in. He got hooked on chess because of the satisfaction expressed by the players, which proved a pleasant contrast to the interactions he had day to day in his job as a CPA. One of his biggest chess regrets was having to turn down an offer to be the chief arbiter for the U.S. Chess Championship because it started before the end of tax season. John is the director of the Boca Raton Chess Club, which has been holding weekly meetings for over 15 years. He served on the board of the Florida Chess Association as president, secretary, regional vice president, and director at large. He serves on 7 U.S. chess committees and was the first person in the U.S. to hold the combined titles of National Tournament Director, FIDE International Arbiter, and FIDE International Organizer. Congratulations, John.
Joanne, who's put up with all the time I've spent on chess over the years. Joanne? And Joanne really comes to the bigger chess events, so it's something special. I want to thank my son, Jeffrey, who was the primary reason I got involved with the chess events. And I hope I won't have trouble with the ethics committee for getting 2 awards today.
Tournament Director of the Year award goes to David Hayter from Georgia. David is an international arbiter and national tournament director. He directs up to 50 tournaments a year, many with multiple sections, and remains active in major U.S. chess tournaments. His work with military chess competition has been and continues to be of great importance to U.S. chess. Thank you, David.
This is an interesting choice for an award. I'm an interesting choice, I guess, because I started directing tournaments in 1981. I failed the first tournament directing test that I ever took, the local tournament directing test in 1981. I'd like to say in the intervening years, I've learned a thing or two. I'd like to say that. Players who play in my events and maybe other directors might disagree. Other interesting thing is I'm actually younger than the average NTD. I know that I've looked up the statistics. So I've only been directing almost 40 years. So I'm younger than the average NTD. When I grow up, I would like to get the Lifetime Achievement Award like Mr. Emmett. And when I've been beaten down enough as a tournament director, I'll be about his height. I have to thank several people that actually made this possible. One would be Bill Deutschberg, who I don't know why he hired me, but he did. My colleagues at CCA, among them Steve Emmett. I put up with him or he puts up with me, depending on how you look at it. I'm actually sitting at the New York table, my favorite state. So I thank some of the people that nominated me for this and that gave me the opportunity to do this. And just before I step aside, I wanted to make just a couple of serious points about tournament directing. This year, this convention, this U.S. Open, we've kind of gotten our hands around one of the things that's the bane of a tournament director's existence, which is electronic devices. I'm not sure we've gotten our arms completely around that, but we're here to do work like that. We volunteer, and we're getting our hands around that, and we have to, because if we don't, there won't be any future tournament directors of the year because people won't play in tournaments. And then the last thing I wanted to say is the award means a lot, and I appreciate the thanks. People don't volunteer because of the money they get from it. Yes, I get paid occasionally. I could work more making in McDonald's, literally. They don't do it for that. They do it for love of the game. And saying thanks to someone keeps them going and means a lot. So when you all go back to your communities and you play in a tournament, thank your tournament director, thank the organizer, the people that are putting the hours behind it, because they get beat on a lot, and something like this really does mean a lot. Thank you.
Our Accessibility and Special Circumstances Person of the Year is Alex Rulea from New Hampshire, who ran the U.S. Blind Championship in 2018, serves on 7 U.S. chess committees, and is involved in further work and future plans to improve accessibility and inclusion in association with the Accessibility and Special Circumstances Committee. Alex?
also directed the blind championship this year. I'd like to thank the Chess Trust, USBCA, and people who would rather not have their names mentioned for helping to sponsor the tournaments, and my incredible staff that, including the office staff, which helped make it possible. And I'd like to see the blind players also playing in open tournaments.
Next, we're going to present the Meritorious Service Awards. I want to ask Executive Director Carol Meyer to come forward and say a few words.
I feel like I'm doing show and tell with my mystery bag here. So it is a real honor to present one of the Meritorious Service Awards at this year's U.S. Open. I'm going to read, otherwise I will forget what I wanted to say. Dr. Jeannie Singfield is an avid supporter of community activities spanning various cultural areas, such as art, music, and education, especially with respect to how it enhances the quality and the impact on the lives of children. Jeannie is on the board of the Great Rivers Council of the Boy Scouts of America, where she was instrumental in getting the Boy Scout Merit Badge established. She also has developed various tools to make chess accessible for travelers, campers, consider the Boy Scout connection, and authored a booklet recently for learning chess notation. Together with her husband Rex, Jeannie has been a big partner in the resurgence of American chess. Today, it is a distinct privilege to present the Meritorious Service Award to Dr. Jeannie Singfield, and Tony Rich is here to accept it on her behalf. If anybody wants to see some of the things Jeannie has worked on, I brought samples.
Absolutely. On behalf of Jeannie Singfield, thank you very much. Just like Sunil said about Carolyn, that I'm not sure that Jeannie really liked chess. You know, it took her husband away from her whenever he went and played in tournaments, and her running joke for a long time was, you know, when my husband said he wanted to start a chess club, I thought, that's great, how expensive could that be? Right? So, over the past 11 years, though, Jeannie really has embraced her role in the chess community. Just like Carol said, Jeannie's interests had been primarily with children, whether it was through the Boy Scouts or through her composer spotlight series where she really focuses on children and music. That's always been her niche, and Rex was really more the chess guy. Well, then whenever Jeannie maybe begrudgingly embraced this whole chess notion, she decided that, you know, she wanted to learn how to play chess too. And so, you know, we're lucky in St. Louis, we have lots of grandmasters that come through, and she always picks their brain and talks to them about chess. And she never really got satisfactory answers to things like, how do you teach chess to little kids? Where do you start? What is the very basic beginning thing? And then she decided that it's ultimately literacy, just like with any type of education. So yeah, just like Carol said, Jeannie wrote her Learn to Read and Write Chess Notation, spent many hours at the chess club going over it with grandmasters and amateur players alike, and literally teaching grandmasters, A1, you know, it's down here. But you know, it comes from a good place in her heart. She definitely wants to spread the benefits that chess provides, especially among school children. So I'm sure she's honored to receive this award. Thank you all very much.
We're also presenting a Meritorious Service Award to Dr. Clyde Smith from South Carolina, who was introduced to chess by one of his best friends in high school in 1961. He's made valuable contributions to the Scholastic chess in South Carolina over the decades, helping the Chess Association, the State Chess Association progress from a non-existent Scholastic program in the 80s to a vibrant current Scholastic program. He's continually provided important assistance in the state organization and directing of the annual South Carolina Scholastic Chess Championships and other Scholastic tournaments within the state. His most memorable chess experiences are seeing people learn and watching some go on to become champions. David and Marie Vermont are going to accept the award in this behalf.
Next, our treasurer to accept the award.
Oh, okay. I beg your
Because
pardon.
he's closer to the ramp.
On behalf of Dr. Smith, I just want to thank you for your award. Scholastic chess in South Carolina is very much on the rise. It's my privilege to participate in a good deal of it as well. I thank you.
This year we have 3 Outstanding Career Achievement Awards that we'd like to present. This is an honor given to those who have made major contributions on the state or regional level over a period of years. First one we'd like to recognize today is Stephen Schneider from Georgia. Stephen has worked since 1974 in Georgia teaching chess to thousands of kids, running chess camps, helping establish leagues, and producing children's chess literature. He has been active in creating coordination among a team of coaches, educators, and curriculum writers to develop and implement Scholastic chess educational packages. He has worked in governance within the Georgia Chess Association and is a past GCA president. His continued involvement in promoting chess in schools is what prevents him from being here today. He's busy working the back-to-school scene. Thank you, Stephen. Our second Outstanding Career Achievement Award goes to Richard Kepke from California, North California. Richard has held offices at the state level in Northern California chess since the 1990s, having been secretary, treasurer, and board member. He has served many years as a U.S. chess delegate and as a productive and active committee member. Richard is considered one of the premier TDs in the state of California. Thank you, Richard.
I don't have a prepared speech, just thanks for the award.
The final Outstanding Career Achievement Award goes to Fred Wilson of New York. Fred's favorite chess moments include either tying for first with 3 grandmasters in the 1967 Manhattan Open, or getting a rave review from GM Joel Benjamin in the August 2013 Chess Life for his book, Simple Attacking Plans. Fred has been a chess bookseller and author for 45 years, a chess teacher for 25 years, and became a USCF rated master for the first time at 71. Fred also won the Chess Journalist of the Year Award in 2001. Apart from that, he has taught thousands of young players over decades. He has edited and authored important chess publications, including very inexpensive books for novices, and has generously provided copies of these works to chess associations to help bring in new players. Fred has edited and authored historical works that have preserved and disseminated much lost chess history. His work in preserving rare chess books, for example, from as late as the 1800s, and making these acceptable to historians has been of great value in his new chess historical research. Fred's advice: don't quit, don't be afraid of young players, do keep playing, study books, and look forward to playing kids. Thank you, Fred.
The Frank Marshall Award is given to those who have been ambassadors for chess and for American chess. The recipients include those who have coached our teams in international competition or acted as chess spokesmen, including FIDE service. And this year's award goes to Grandmaster Melixet Kashayan for representing U.S. chess as a coach and captain for the U.S. women's teams in a number of Olympiads and world team competitions. Our next award is a Tournament Director Lifetime Achievement Award, which is presented to Steve Emmett of New York, and I understand that Danny Rode is going to come forward and do the presentation.
All right, so first of all, I think I stood at the awards luncheon in 2005. Was anybody here in 2005? Okay, I think I was a teenager when I was collecting a Tournament Director of the Year award for Steve, and he was, I believe, at the Bradley Open, which was a CCA event. So he wasn't even here because he was too busy directing an event. Now, if you look at his MSA, you'll notice that he has over 3,000 tournaments just as a chief director. Okay, 3,000 tournaments, chief director. I believe 7,200 sections. The Jay Bonin of tournament directing? Maybe? Some of these events include CCA events, I believe since 1982. The Greater New York Scholastic Chess Championship, since when?
Before MSA, but we started in 86.
86. Okay, how about the Marshall, 4-rated games tonight. Game 30, 4-rated games, start at 7 p.m., finish by 12. The Last Blunder, the Manhattan Chess Club. Let's see, the Insanity Tournament, where you play 10 games in one night. All night, you finish by 10 in the morning. So, all these tournaments, and he does a great job of mentoring other tournament directors. I wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today without Steve, and we call him Uncle Steve in our family. So let me make that very clear.
Stevie.
Uncle Stevie, well, it used to be Uncle Steve when I was a kid. So I'm here to present the Lifetime Achievement Award to Steve, and congratulations.
Thank you. I had always assumed that Lifetime Achievement Awards kind of signified that perhaps the most of one's days and the best of one's days were behind them. But now I've had cause to reconsider my assumption. And I think I may have only been half right in that respect. So hopefully, there's still some good days ahead with like that. Before, I just want to point out that you can't really be accomplished in achieving anything without learning these things, learning best practices, learning traditions from other people. So that applies, I think, in anything. In my case, really, I have to say that there were two people who really made that possible. When at the tournament in 2005 at the US Open, I neglected to point out the first one. But the first individual, basically, he taught me everything I know. But because I've only known him for about 35 years, he didn't teach me everything he knew. There wasn't time. So I just like to point out that I would not be anything if it weren't for if it weren't for Bill Gorchberg and what he taught me. Basically true. And more recently, I certainly wouldn't be anything without the compassion and the importance of empathy and sympathy that I've learned from one of the 10 people in the USCF who holds the title of International Arbiter, International Organizer, and National Tournament Director. I believe there are about 5 of them in this room, and one of them is Sophia Rhodes. Sophia, thank you.
Today we have 2 Distinguished Service Awards to award. This award recognizes sustained national service over a period of years. The first person we'd like to recognize this afternoon is Mark Glickman from Massachusetts. Mark learned chess from his grandfather and treasures the memory of having beaten Patrick Wolf shortly before Wolf became U.S. champion. Dr. Mark Glickman, a fellow of the American Statistical Association, is a senior lecturer on statistics at the Harvard University Department of Statistics and has served as a member of the U.S. Chess Ratings Committee since 1985 and has been the continuous chair of the committee since 1992. There are as many ongoing changes in the statistical basis of ratings as there are games being rated. It is affected by demographic shifts in the membership base, geographic factors, including patterns of tournament formats and sites, rating floors, and other factors that require the rating system to be competently monitored and managed to maintain its statistical and predictive accuracy. Dr. Glickman's dedication and expertise have been of great value to U.S. chess. It is no surprise that Dr. Glickman's advice to others is to persevere in what is meaningful to you. Thank you, Mark Glickman. Final award this afternoon is also a Distinguished Service Award. It goes to Francisco Guadalupe from Texas. Frank made major contributions to U.S. chess at the national level for many years, including holding the positions of National Events Director and Interim Executive Director for U.S. Chess. He served as an arbiter of U.S. Chess Championships and as organizer of major Scholastic tournaments, as well as being an international arbiter and an international organizer. Frank served as FIDE Zonal President and was Deputy Chief Arbiter for the 2016 World Chess Championship. We thank you, Frank.
First, before I address this award, I'm gonna give some advice to Alex Sharma. And it's not usually that I can give advice to a grandmaster other than the rules. But when you talk about senior chess and maybe not being as important as the regular chess, if you will, keep in mind what Jack Nicklaus said once when he was asked about senior golf. And he started talking about the junior tour. And that was the PGA, of course, so they're the junior guys. In any event, when I received a call first and then an email that I was getting this award, I figured they certainly made a mistake. After all, last year, I think Gary Walters is here. Gary won it last year, so there was no way I was going to get this, but it is my honor to receive this, but most importantly, it is my honor to be part of this amazing organization, U.S. Chess. So thank you so much.
Well, that concludes our program. We have a little while left before we return to our meeting, so relax. Enjoy yourselves. Thank you all for being here.